Hey folks, Eric from Another Voice with Jason and Eric on WOLT 103.3 in Greenville, Greer, and Spartanburg, and on canIGetAWordIn.com. That's where you'll find our podcasts and other good information. We are actually on vacation, so this show tomorrow is going to be a recorded show, but it's a good one. I want you to tune in. We're talking about healthcare, and I know no matter what your position is on the law, this is not going to, the healthcare law is not going to happen for 2 more years, and there are people who need help today. So we're interviewing the executive director of the Greenville Free Medical Clinic and the Taylor's Free Medical Clinic. We're also going to have a segment dealing with emergency preparedness. You know, there's been floods and fires and stuff like that, and we've got a good piece on that. So make sure you tune in tomorrow at 1 o'clock to hear those shows. Now, because I'm going to be away for 2 weeks, I wanted to have an opportunity to speak to you about the tragedy that occurred in Aurora, Colorado Friday night, because we won't be able to talk about it on the show. The focus, I think, right now needs to be on the victims, their families, those folks in the hospital struggling right now to try to not be another victim. We have a friend of the show who has a friend who was shot 4 times and was in the hospital in critical care. We've gotten good news that person has come out of critical care and looks like they're going to make it. But this is where our focus should be. Unfortunately, within hours of this tragedy, the focus tended to shift right away to politics, to gun control or concealed carry weapon, and people whose preconceived ideas, preconceived positions, were trying to take this tragedy and twist it for their political purposes. And we need to not do that. Trust me, we are going to talk about the politics of this. Over the next week or two, I'll probably put a couple more podcasts, video casts like this, and also stuff in writing. We are going to talk about the politics. But right now, we need to put our focus where it should start. And the second thing we need to focus on is the heroes. We so often focus on the shooter, and we need to stop that. That's what they want. We need to focus on the heroes, and this story has a number of heroes. We will be putting together a list of those heroes and what they did, but there are stories about men shielding their girlfriends. There was a man who saw a woman struggling to get two little children out of the way of the shooter, and he risked his own life to save those girls. There's a preacher who was rescued by someone else, drug him out of the situation. There are a lot of heroes. If you're Googling this, if you're looking at trying to figure out what's going on, Google them. Let's talk about the heroes. And I know we would love to think we would do that. But these folks actually did it. In the height of chaos, they looked beyond themselves for others, and they're examples to us. So let's right now focus on those people who are struggling to not become a victim, the families of the victims, and these heroes. And leave the politics and the shooter to another time. All right? So we will, again, a recorded show tomorrow. Make sure you tune in to at 1 o'clock. And then the following week we will be off the air and return live on August 6th. But make sure you check canIGetAWordIn.com for updates on this story and on other things. All right, folks, we will talk to you again very shortly.